All right, so it's been a while since I've made a Destiny video, and it's been a while since I've uploaded any video for that matter. But today I want to talk about the Speedloader slacks and some of the things that you can do with them. I will say I'm not sure if this is an in-game viable build. I just tend to put builds together because I kind of find it to be fun, but in actual on-the-field usage, I haven't really tested it myself. I'm only at like 204, so I can't really, do anything crazy, but with these exotics, with the Edge of Fate, they changed them in the sense that previously you would dodge, you would get a stack of on your mark, or something tight fit. It's not on your mark, but it's similar to on your mark, but with tight fit. And as you get kills, it would go up to stacks of 5, maxing out at 5, and it will give you and your nearby allies reload boost as well as weapon handling boost. With the Edge of Fate update, they changed it to where you still get the boost and you also reload when you dodge. However, now you have to get a certain amount of hits on a target instead of just kills. So depending on the content that you're playing, it's a bit harder to upkeep depending on what your loadout is. You want to make sure you have the proper stats for your class ability, use your perk skills like either on solar and burning your allies or burning your enemies give you faster recharge speed, but so on and so forth. But with the change of giving you your dodge back on hits instead of kills, you do have some options when it comes to single target damage. So just a quick little, let me grab some ammo. All right, so with the changes, as I said, you dodge, and now off of sustained hits, you get your dodge energy back. And when it comes to primary weapons, I haven't tested everything, but with primary weapons, it does take some time when it comes to single target damage. But that's essentially how it works. Deal some damage. After you dodge, you get your dodge back again. And then once you dodge, you get your weapons reloaded, and it reloads all your weapons. And nearby allies gain a boost to their weapon handling and reload as well. Now, when it comes to what weapons that I think are best to loop with this or pair with this, it comes down to two weapons. Firstly, the area denial frame grenade launcher, and then we have fusion rifles. So with area denial frame grenade launchers, I'm tongue-tied every time I say that. You dodge and you land a hit, and it brings it back a lot faster than what you saw with the auto rifle there. Boom, and that's pretty much it. So if you pair it with whatever you want to pair it with, but fire a shot, use your weapon, dodge, fire another shot, use your weapon, dodge, and you basically have it back when you need to. Now, when you're using those, you really only have to fire one shot every 2 rocket shots, for example, because of how long they last. And then you can toss another shot. So that's one. Now, if we use the fusion rifles, let me grab some more ammo. Same thing applies here with fusion rifles. And previously with the auto rifle, again, very slow on how fast you get it back. I just said that weird. But if you use a fusion rifle, one burst can pretty much get you through half of it, how much you have, and you just need 2 bursts to get your dodge back. So the reason I would point out fusion rifles, or rather I am pointing out fusion rifles as well, is to my knowledge, with the grenade launch, you can't stack those, and so I don't know how those work when it comes to using multiple in a group with your allies. So on the, like, if you want to be on the more safer side, just to have constant upkeep without worrying about if you're in random content and someone's using an area denial frame and you want to keep your loop going, fusion rifles work as well, for the most part, if you're not bouncing around like I am and missing. And maybe a burst, pretty much 1 burst, depending on what weapon you're using, and you got your dodge back, just like that. Boom, now you're ready for another one. Now, when it comes to what power weapons to loop, really just whatever's the best power weapon that you wish you didn't have to physically reload, that's the best way I would sum it up. But it's kind of fun using things like Two-Tailed Fox because of the triple shots that you can get off with this. If it'll fire the weapons, and then you can just loop it back like that. Or you can use something like Prospector, ammo, go fire a shot, Prospector go burr, reload, Prospector go burr again, reload, and you get the gist of it. Or you can use Merciless, since it is a fusion rifle, and as I said, with fusion rifles you can also get it back pretty quickly if I don't bounce into a wall. So, and you get the faster fire rates when you're using Merciless, so you can pretty much jump the whole mag, dodge, up the whole mag again, keep the buff, dodge, and just keep the loop going. So that's a few things, but I want to bring it back to Two-Tailed Fox because depending on which class, as you know, different subclasses do have ways to manually or auto reload your weapon based off of maybe a melee attack on stasis, a grenade on strand, or in this case with Night Stalker, or with prismatic as well with facet of commanding, I believe is the name. I have not gotten it myself, so after all this time I haven't gotten this, but facet of command, if using suppression, in which this case Two-Tailed Fox can do, you can essentially loop 2 auto reloads back to back before you use your before you use Speedloader Slacks, or while using Speedloader Slacks. So with Void, you hop over here, you have Echo of Domineering. As I said, you suppress the target, you get a reload. So you fire a shot, you can fire another shot, then you can dodge, and you can fire another shot. And usually be sure to have your aerial deny frame in there so you can kind of not dance around like I did. And you can just keep the loop going. Now, one thing you should be mindful of is when the perk activates again, so you don't dodge when you've already reloaded your weapon off of Echo of Domineering. And that's a loop with Void and specifically Two-Tailed Fox. Now you can also, obviously, if you're using Night Stalker and you use your Shadow Shot, that counts as reload, but just to get that extra damage boost off, you kind of want to shoot your Shadow Shot first so you miss that free reload. But during the loop process, you will get another shot in, and again, you want to make sure you're looping in your aerial frame so you can look stupid like I am doing that. So that's one. Now, if you're using Solar Gunslinger, and you have the weighted throwing knife, and again, bringing it back to Two-Tailed Fox, you're able to scorch your target and throw a weighted knife. And I got a night off. Do that. Night. And yeah, that's the loop. Now, again, how viable is this build or setup? I don't know. I've seen videos of people using Titan and using the melee attack when you're in the air and you're doing like super levels of damage, or you can just slap on Thunderlord and call it a day. But for me personally, it's kind of just a fun, different build to go with. I'm not sure how well it works with your teammates in terms of the speed, recovery, or reload buffs that they're getting, but you're reloading your weapons and you're able to use one-shot weapons or whatever weapon you wish you didn't have to reload manually, and you're also able to get your allies speed boost on their weapon handling and reloads as well. Now, just to do a little loop run with this, using Tether, Shadow Shot, Dodge, only 32,000? Meh. So yeah, 32,000. Very sloppy play there, but that's just the loop of the exotic. So like I said, different ways to mess around with it. You got Echo Domineering on Void, Facet of Command on Prismatic. You have the Threat of Ascent on Strand. You have Whisper of Impetus on Stasis. So there are ways for you to just reload your weapon via your subclass. And there are other exotics that you can work with as well. If you have Radiant Dance Machines going into a firefight, going into a damage phase, you can have 3 charges of your dodge ready, so you can have 3 marksman dodges. Or if you want to have a dodge at all times, you have to worry about dying or anything like that. So you can still use 6 Coyote, but you're limited to 2 dodges there. But those are options as well. I guess the main benefit with Speedloader Slacks is if you want to have some type of team support, giving your allies faster reload and weapon handling, their stats, but also for the fact that you can dodge with Gambler's Dodge to get your melee back, and you can still do damage and get the reload off as well. So if you're using Void Hunter, you're able to throw a weakening grenade as much as you want and still reload your weapons. If you're using Stasis, throw a slow. If you're using Strand, throw a kunai. I think that's what it is, right? A kunai. You can sever your targets. So there are some benefits of, hey, I want to reload all my weapons, I want to give my team a reload buff, and I want my melee back for whatever build or setup I want to go with. That's where Speedloader Slack comes into play during the boss phase. So yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go on hiatus again, but I just want to talk about that. So